All right, Flames TV Live, brought to you by Budweiser, is on the air, the pregame show to get you set for the New Jersey Devils and Calgary Flames. But before we get to the matchup, some breaking news of sorts here in Flames land, and that is the acquisition of another forward who will join this team in the near future, and that will be Calle Jarnkrok, who was acquired today, in fact, just about a little over an hour ago from the Seattle Kraken in exchange for a hat trick of draft picks, a second-rounder this year, a third-rounder in 23, and then a seventh-rounder in 2024. 50% of the salary will be retained by the Seattle Kraken. But as far as the player the Calgary Flames are getting, well, he just happens to be the cousin of Elias Lindholm, a native of Sweden, a small town in Sweden, actually also the hometown of Jacob Markstrom. But the Jarnkrok, a guy that, as Brad Treliving told us, a fixer of sorts, and a guy that can bring a number of opportunities in terms of the forward groups. You got a guy that can play center, both wings, and will fit in nicely here in Calgary as well. Here's Brad Treliving's thoughts on the player acquired today.
Well, he's a player that we've had a lot of interest for a long time. You know, you hear the term two-position player. He's a three-position player. He can play all three forward positions. Came up, you know, as a young guy, really as a natural center, and has played a lot of wing, right shot, you know, can touch both sides of specialty teams, you know, can go up and down a lineup, and, you know, really fits our DNA as a guy who's ultra competitive, smart player, and a real, you know, I think he's underrated offensively, but his DNA is he's a very good defensive player, and he brings a defensive, you know, conscious to any line that he plays with. To me, he's a fixer. He's a defensive fixer for a line that can chip in offensively. So we think he can touch you know, a bunch of different parts of a game. It gives us more depth. And like I said, we like the player, so excited to add him.
All right, of course, but there is a hockey game to be played here as the Calgary Flames go right back to home ice play. 8 of their next 9 games will be played at the Scotiabank Saddledome starting tonight against the New Jersey Devils, who are in the middle of a Western Canadian road trip. Back-to-back games for the Devils. They lost 6-3 last night to the Vancouver Canucks. They're 1-4 in Canada this year, so game number 6 for the Devils north of the border. And for the Calgary Flames, we mentioned last week was a busy one. 5 games in 7 days, an opportunity to rest up with 2 non-game days early this week, and now right back at it against the Devils tonight.
2 days feels like a week after the week that we had last week, but it was good. You know, I think it was pretty unanimous in the locker room. The guys were feeling a little beat up after the week, and understandably so. It was a lot of hockey, and obviously they gave us a good day off to recover, and then a practice day yesterday to kind of gear back up, and off we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of us knew last week was going to be one of the harder weeks of the season, and you know, we had a good practice yesterday, got the legs going a bit, and I think everyone's, you know, taking care of themselves in their own way, and you know, this is that time of the season where it becomes kind of a grind, you know, and you got to take care of your body and do what you got to do to be ready to perform and play each night. So I think, like I said, I think everyone's ready to go for tonight.
All right, time now for a look at who to watch, and we'll begin with the Devils and Jack Hughes, who missed the earlier meeting between these two teams due to an injury, but he's produced some big points since returning. Over a point per game, 46 in 40, including 7 in his last 5 games. He's also 2 points away from 100 in his career. And for the Calgary Flames, Andrew Mangiapane leads the offense and did so against the New Jersey Devils. Had 2 goals in that earlier meeting. He sits with 29 on the season. Of course, that's second on the Calgary Flames to only Elias Lindholm. Michael Backlund, also a big moment for him. 2007 NHL draft selected in the first round, and now here tonight plays game 804, which is the most in franchise history of a drafted player. So a milestone. Here's Bax on the draft day and the moment tonight.
Milestone. It feels very special to just to play for that long for one franchise, and to be the number 1 ever. It's very special, very cool, and I'm very thankful for a lot of people along the way here in Calgary. It's helped me get to where I am today. Going into the draft, hoping to get drafted by a Canadian team or a nice and sunny place, and turned out pretty good, you know, getting picked by Calgary. So, and then I just remember being super excited, and remember walking up on stage and, you know, about to put my hat on, and Daryl goes, "No, that's for baseball players." So, yeah, that's why I'm not wearing my hat on my draft picture.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have a conversation with Noah Hannafin on the other side.
All of us here at Calgary Sports and Entertainment are thrilled to welcome you to the Scotiabank Saddledome and would like to share some important updates and reminders. Face coverings are no longer required at the Scotiabank Saddledome. However, we recognize there are varying levels of comfort with this change. We respect everyone's right to make this personal choice and appreciate that some patrons and staff may prefer to continue wearing face coverings. Additionally, no one ever wants to miss a game, but we do ask that you please stay home if you're feeling unwell. The Scotiabank Saddledome has a zero-tolerance policy for foul or inappropriate behavior, along with any disruption of the game, including throwing objects, fighting, or trespassing on the ice surface. Under some circumstances, the puck may be propelled into the spectator area with enough force to cause serious injury. If you are struck, immediately ask the nearest usher for help and directions to the medical station. Perhaps most importantly, please make sure you are kind and respectful to one another, as well as the venue staff, who are working hard to ensure the best possible experience for our patrons. If you have any questions about any of these important updates and reminders, please don't hesitate to contact a venue representative or Calgary Flames customer service. You can also report any issue or ask a question by texting us your seat location along with your question and the word S-Dome to 587-327-2207 to reach our fan text line. We greatly appreciate your support and understanding. Together, we can enjoy a safe and fun experience here in the Scotiabank Saddledome.
Well, here's what you need to know, and we'll start with Johnny Gaudreau because he has 21 points in 12 career games against the New Jersey Devils. Loves playing this opposition, gets another crack at it tonight. We mentioned Michael Backlund. He's point number 2, career game number 804. That's the fourth most in franchise history, but of course passes Al MacInnis for the most by a drafted player. And Jacob Markstrom, second star of the week last week. Look at that shining save percentage, .974 and a record of 3-0-0. In terms of foundation, Daryl mentioned it yesterday. That's just something that, as you alluded to, that early road starts, just the fact that you spent so much time on the road, that's kind of when that took place. When you're going through stretches like this and you talk about the difficulty in terms of playing games, is it nice to always have that to go back to, that, just to reset, go right back to that foundation you guys already put in place?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I mean, I think the beginning of the year for us was huge, and we kind of figured out what our identity as a team is going to be, and I think that's kind of been the standard for us all year. Whenever we've dipped below that line, it's always been about getting back to playing to our style and the way we get to play, and not really worrying about who our opponent is, but focusing on just us. And when we play the way we need to play, we usually have success. So that's been a goal of us lately. Just a quick thought on the blue line and what you guys have done back there. Obviously, we've seen some of the numbers, which have been impressive right across the board, all 6 of you. What about just what you've given up, or what haven't you given up here over the last little while? I mean, even that Colorado game, it's a 1-goal game into the third period. What about the way you guys have defended and checked here lately? Yeah, I mean, it's a team effort, obviously. I think, for us as defensemen, a big thing is having good gaps, and a lot of that comes from, our back pressure from our forwards and kind of their work ethic, and, that's been great for us lately. Obviously, last week it was a hard schedule, and they were still, I thought everyone was still working hard and competing, which is important. So, yep. And obviously we've been getting great goaltending as well, so that helps us. But yeah, I think as far as the back end, I think we've all been contributing in different ways, and everyone's playing big minutes, so it's been good to see. Appreciate the time as always, and good luck tonight. Yep, thank you.
All right, some thoughts there from Noah Hannafin as we get to our starting goaltenders for tonight's hockey game. An optional skate for the Flames and no skate for the Devils, but we can confirm it is Nico Daws who will get the start, a 9th consecutive appearance in the crease for Daws. He was pulled last night, giving up 4 goals on 21 shots, but goes right back in for the Devils. As for the Flames, no surprise here. Jacob Markstrom gets the start after Dan Vladar got the nod in Colorado. Markstrom goes for a 47th appearance here tonight for the Calgary Flames, and of course mentioned he was the second star of the week in the National Hockey League last week. As for the Calgary Flames, with Calle Jarnkrok, that was the big news before the game. He was acquired by trade from the Seattle Kraken, expecting him, as we heard from Brad Treliving, to make his en route to the Calgary Flames tomorrow, and maybe get an opportunity to see him in the lineup later this week. All right, you're all set for the hockey game. It is the New Jersey Devils. It is the Calgary Flames. Puck drop is coming up next. We'll be back with you live in the first intermission, hoping to be joined by Calle Jarnkrok himself.